Hey guys, it's Coach Evans here with LacrosseGoalieTips.com and LacrosseGoalieUniversity.com. And sorry I've been so quiet this spring. It's been interesting. I did something which I hadn't really done too much before, but this year I took a lot of time to kind of open up our online coaching community at Lacrosse Goalie University, and also to bring on some more private clients that I've worked with from a distance. A lot of people ask me, how they can work with me, and really the way I've set it up is so that I can work from anywhere in the world with anybody in the world. Is I do this online. So before I get to the free stuff in this email, I just want to tell you real quick about that. If you need coaching, or if you want me to work with your goalie, one of the best ways to do it is to take advantage of one of our coaching programs where we work from a distance. So do a lot of video critiques, do a lot of Skype calls, depending on what it is you need or what your program needs. I'm happy to do that. And this year I set that up kind of better than I had before, and have a lot of really good new clients, which is a lot of fun. But it's been taking up a lot of time, and I've been kind of remiss to do these videos every week. So I'm going to get back on it. So for the rest of the season, and really power through. And also for our Lacrosse Goalie University members, I've done something which I've never really done before. Is that now every month I'm going to be putting out some more videos. And what you'll see at the bottom of the email is you'll see a couple screenshots of the goalie critiques that we worked on this month, and talking about a couple different things there. One was we talked about hand position and strength in female goalies, and also another one was baiting. So this month there's another half hour's worth of coaching footage in Lacrosse Goalie University for our members. So I hope you'll check it out. And if you're not a member of Lacrosse Goalie University, which is my most economical way to get kind of great lacrosse coaching, check it out. So listen, for the free stuff this month, I want to talk about something that was kind of it really sparked me to get another email out, because it made me pissed, to be honest, and I apologize for the language, but I was really pissed from what I heard. So a long time member, longtime kind of fan of mine as a coach, a person with an athlete who I've known for a very long time, and this was an athlete who a long time ago, I think a lot of coaches would have written this kid off. He's kind of a little goofy, hadn't really grown into his body yet, kind of looked like a lot like a young puppy, right, with big paws and a waggy tail. Loved the game of lacrosse. But through a lot of work, I would say, from the parents, a lot of support from the parents, a lot of investment from the parents, this athlete has become a bit of a force, and got a call from a coach at a prep school. And I want to keep the names and the locations out of this a little bit, because I don't want to get anybody upset, and I don't want to give away too much information. But I want to give you the kind of the gist of it, which is this. So this athlete plays in not a hotbed of lacrosse. There's been some good athletes that have come out of that neck of the woods, but nothing really. We're not talking like California or Maryland or things like that. But this athlete got a phone call from a coach at a prep school, where another athlete from this guy's hometown plays, and when this first happened, the parents called me and said, "Listen, this is what's kind of going on." And my first, when people ask me, like, is it better for your athlete to go to a prep school to play lacrosse? My first answer isn't always yes. I think nowadays, as parents and athletes, we got to look long and hard kind of at the investment we're making at prep schools to play lacrosse, for the dream to play lacrosse in college. I think there's a lot of discussion now. I hear it, I get emails pretty much every other week from parents questioning, wondering, like, what do we do? Where should we send my kids to school so that they get the best chance to play, in college? Should he go to this camp or this recruiting trip? Or, their club coaches are asking him to spend another like $5,000 to go here, go there, whatever. So I think the discussion around what we pay and where we pay it is important, because at the end of the day, lacrosse does not have a professional arm that is like the NFL or baseball or basketball or hockey. It's not like the big four. It's still a very niche sport, and investing to go to a prep school to play for a couple years, a year, where some of the amounts of money I'm hearing is just incredible, right? And so I think we got to look long and hard. So my suggestion to this parent was, you know, there's benefit, I think, to playing in prep schools that have affiliations with colleges. Like, it's really the college landscape. As I describe in my Lacrosse Recruit Truth program, it's a big network. It's a bunch of buddies. A lot of the guys played with each other in college and high school. Like, the network of college coaches runs deep, and it runs in a lot of different areas. And so depending on what your hopes and dreams are to play lacrosse in college, going to a prep school can get you in that door, right? It can, there's no kind of question about that, right? But it's still a risk. And also it's a big investment. So my suggestion to this parent was like, listen, I like the idea of going, as long as maybe you can get some scholarship funds, as long as you can get some help financially, because the amount of money that 1 year of tuition at this school was huge, big, real big, right? So I just couldn't justify that, Now, the interesting thing was that this athlete plays with a pretty prominent club lacrosse team. As a lot of aspiring collegiate, athletes do. They'll join up with a club program, and these club programs have grown over the years as lacrosse recruiting has gotten more and more competitive, and it's gotten earlier and earlier on. These club programs also ask for a pretty penny, right? And with the hopes and dreams of getting your kid a lacrosse scholarship. And I hate that, to be honest. I mean, I like the idea of getting a bunch of good kids together to play. It's fun to coach. It's easy to coach. When you've got kids, you got the best kids in your state, up in Canada, in a province or in an area. Like, if you get all the best kids to play in a program, it's pretty easy to coach that team. Like, it doesn't take a lot of talent to coach a group of kids like that, but what I take real, this bugs me, is when coaches are filling their cars, right, the gas in their cars with the hopes and dreams of young athletes and families, the ones who say, come with me and I'll get you a scholarship to college, because that's crap. It is crap. It is a lie. It's a flat out lie. And I have defended that statement for a long time. It can help facilitate, maybe the development of an athlete. But here's where it really bugs me, is when a club team coach will tell you not to do something because it hurts their program. Right? Because think about it. If I'm a club coach and I've got a program and I'm driving a nice vehicle, and the revenues that I make from my club are what pays my mortgage and what puts gas in my car. If I'm going to tell you, or tell one of my better players, listen, yeah, go do this other thing, whatever it may be, go to a prep school, go with another club, go to this camp, do it, miss out on the tournament we're going to play because there's this recruiting event that I think you should go to and you better be better fit for. When they start making that exception and they are now biased, that's a problem. Okay. I don't have a problem coaching athletes on an individual basis. You've heard me say this before. I don't have a problem having athletes in my membership site at a nominal cost. I do have a problem if I told you that the only way, if you ever hear me say the only way you're going to play lacrosse in college is if you join one of my programs, because that's crap, and we all know that. But that's exactly what happened to this athlete, is that their club coach said, why would you want, and the attitude in this club coach's, I can just hear it, the attitude coming out of the mouth of this coach was like, why the hell would you want to go to that school, right? Like, how horrible is that, right? One, from a coach's perspective, we are here to empower athletes. We are here to build them up and boost them up, because this world is full of negativity. And when the coach of the program that this family has invested thousands of dollars in, not just 1 year, not just 2 years, but a bunch of years, comes and says, you're stupid for thinking that you would possibly get a better experience at that high school for an entire year than you would in my program for a handful of months. It just floors me. Not to mention the academic advantages, right? The social advantages. the physical advantages of taking maybe an extra year of high school and getting bigger, faster, stronger, turning into more of an adult, right? And in this athlete's particular case, he started high school, or he got on a track for school like back in junior high, at a younger age. Right? He's a late baby, so he's a younger age, right? So now, he would be going into college at, I think, a young 18, right? When there's older kids who are going to be like an old 19. That's a 2-year swing, right? So what bugs me in my rant this week is about basically biased club coaches who are filling their cars with the hopes and dreams of young athletes and families who want to play lacrosse in college, who are not doing what's in the best interest for the kid, and especially when it means the best advice for that kid is to go to another program. Okay? Now, that's where I come in a lot. A lot of people send me emails like, what should my athlete do? And I will tell them, honestly, I think there's a lot of advantages to being bigger, faster, stronger, mentally and emotionally, physically, before you get to college. All right, I think we know now that college is not the place to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. And to rush that, right? Just to play lacrosse is silly. I think it's just flat out, it's just not the right decision. And so when a club coach in their biased way is saying, stay in my program so we can play this summer because you're my best whatever, long stick midi, or my best close defenseman, or my best goalie, whatever, you name the position, and they know that without you, that their team is not necessarily strong, it's a hard choice for that coach to really give you that good advice. And unfortunately, the game of lacrosse has gotten more and more, the recruiting side of it has fostered this business of getting recruited. And that's why I created my Lacrosse Recruit Truth program, as a way to kind of share my philosophies there and a way to navigate those waters. But it's a lot like basketball. It's a lot like AAU basketball, is now, like with these club programs and the club programs that turn into be better than high school programs, and it's forcing kids to play lacrosse year round, which is another completely bad scenario, and that's a whole nother topic for another video. I talk about that in Lacrosse Goalie University, but I'll talk about it someday here. But right now, this bugged me. So my advice for you, if you play on a club program, or if you're thinking about playing in a club program, beyond your school program, understand this. It is a tool. All right? It is a tool to help you facilitate your growth as a lacrosse player. It is a tool to help you get more coaching so that you can be better. Because I've seen some programs where it's just more games, right? It's like we're going to get a team together, we're going to practice maybe twice so we get like an offense in and maybe a defense, and we're going to fly somewhere, whether it's Maryland or it's San Diego or you name it. We're going to fly together, play like 5 games in 2.5 days, and we're going to fly home. To me, that's not learning. To me, there's a lot of athletes that are top-notch who would benefit from 5 days at a skill position camp than they would by going to yet another recruiting event, right? Because there's benefits to going to those skill position camps too, because you are still in the world of lacrosse recruiting, right? But it's when a biased club team coach is convincing their athletes that they are the conduit to this world of lacrosse recruiting. It's crap, complete crap. So don't fall for it. Understand this, that any practice you go to, any strength and conditioning program you enroll in, any club team you join, any recruiting camp you go to, these are all tools with which to facilitate your development as an athlete to become a recruitable lacrosse player. And a lot of these programs are just want you in. They want your money. They want to be a big program. And there's programs out there now that are huge, right? And I know a lot of guys that run these programs, and some of them I have a lot of respect for. Others I think are they're just filling their pockets. And in this case with this athlete too, that's exactly what was going on. Long story short, this athlete is going to go to that prep school. And guess what? His club coach basically thinks he's crap. And that makes me sad, really sad. Not just for the athlete, but for that coach. And I feel, you got to think long and hard about that. Now, I'll share with you one little tidbit here. I'm a dad. My kids don't play lacrosse. And where I live, it's an environment that lacrosse is not an environment that I really enjoy. It's not one that I respect it, but I don't really enjoy being around it. And for those of you know that I don't live in the States anymore, I live up in Canada. And so I haven't forced my kids in lacrosse. And maybe they'll come up in a year or two and want to play. I run a laundry lacrosse program, which I just love, and that's kind of fun. But man, these environments now, they're kind of toxic. Some of them are toxic, and so I hope that for you, wherever you are, you have the ability to play the game and love it and enjoy it and allow yourself to develop. Because one of the interesting things about this athlete, as I started out saying, was there's so many times along the way when a lot of people would look at this athlete and think, oh, you know what, he's not the best kid on the fields. He's not making great passes, and athletically he took a long time to develop. But you know what? His parents stuck with him, right? And some of his coaches stuck with him, right? And helped him grow and develop to the point now where he's an athlete who has garnered the attention of a prominent prep school in the United States that puts him on the track to play in lacrosse in college. And I think that's wicked. I love that. Like, that's a story that I wish more kids would buy into, more parents would buy into, more coaches would buy into. Because a lot of people think, like, with the way lacrosse is now, forget it. If you're not like recruitable when you're like in 8th grade, you should just forget it. And that's crap too, right? That's a completely, like, we have to keep in consideration the physical, mental, and emotional development of all our athletes, and to stick with the idea that, there's going to be opportunities for you to play, there's going to be opportunities for you to get money, there's going to be opportunities for you to catch the eye of a coach who wants you at a school that you want to go to. And that's really what this is all about, okay? So I know this is kind of a tough one for me, having been away from a bit, coming back to you with this video, but I hope this rings true. And if you liked it, do me a favor. Share it with somebody who needs to hear it, okay? This lacrosse game, this whole lacrosse recruiting kind of environment is ruining the game for a lot of people. And for someone who loves the game, I hate to see that. And there's a lot of coaches out there who believe the same thing. So share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Tweet it out, Google Plus it. By all means, leave me a comment below on the blog. And if you've got a story to share, send it to me. Coach Edwards at lacrossegoalietips.com. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.